In the quiet sanctuary of a sunlit Los Angeles living room, where family photos line the walls like silent witnesses to a life built on faith and facade, we step into the raw, unraveling heart of Unlocked. Family Secrets Season 1, Episode 1, The Preacher's Secret, aired on OWN on September 27, 2025, a docuseries premiere that peels back the veil on Lydia Meredith's 25-year odyssey of guarded truths, where as the devoted wife of a charismatic megachurch pastor, she discovers not one, but two seismic secrets shattering her world. Her husband Dennis, the revered Reverend Meredith, and their eldest son are both gay. Lydia, now 58, sits poised yet vulnerable in a flowing blouse, her eyes a mix of resolve and lingering pain, as the camera, directed with intimate sensitivity, captures her first words. I guarded this secret to protect our family, our church, our God, but secrets are poison, and they nearly killed us all. The episode opens with archival footage of the Merediths at their peak. Dennis preaching to thousands in Atlanta's bustling megachurch, his voice booming with sermons on traditional marriage and redemption, while Lydia, the picture of grace, stands beside him, raising three sons amid the spotlight's glare. But beneath the hymns and handshakes lurks the unspoken. Dennis's hidden affairs with men, discovered in the early 2000s through whispered rumors and a devastating confession during a late-night argument, where he admitted his lifelong struggle with his sexuality, shaped by a conservative upbringing that branded it as sin. Lydia, tearful in the retelling, describes the moment. He said, "Lydia, I love you, but I love men too," and my world cracked open. Flashbacks intercut with home videos of family vacations, now tinged with irony, showing young Dennis Jr., their son, always the sensitive artist, sketching quietly while his brothers played rough. The dual revelation compounds when Dennis Jr., at 22, comes out to Lydia during a tense dinner, his voice trembling, "Mom, Dad and we're the same." Lydia's shock doubles, her role as pastor's wife, upholding the church's anti-LGBTQ stance, now a crushing hypocrisy she must navigate alone, as Dennis urges silence to preserve his ministry. The series, produced by OWN with raw, confessional interviews, weaves in expert commentary from therapists on the psychological toll of repressed identity in religious families, noting how such secrets fuel isolation and depression. Lydia reflects on the early signs she ignored. Dennis's late, counseling sessions, his emotional distance, and Dennis Jr.'s withdrawal into books and solitude. Fan reactions on X pour in post-premiere, with at Faith and Truth tweeting, Lydia's story in #UnlockedFamilySecrets is gut-wrenching. How do you reconcile God's love with a church that hates part of your family? The episode's emotional core emerges in Lydia's solo therapy session, where she sobs, "I felt like a fraud, smiling for the congregation while my heart bled." This opening act sets a tone of quiet devastation, illustrating how faith, family, and forbidden truths collide in the Meredith home, leaving viewers gripped by Lydia's courage to finally unlock the door, one painful memory at a time. As the shadows lengthen in Lydia Meredith's recounting, the Unlocked Family Secrets premiere delves deeper into the suffocating web of deception that ensnared her marriage and motherhood, transforming her Los Angeles home into a confessional where 25 years of suppressed agony surface like long-buried roots. Lydia, her hands clasped tightly, describes the immediate aftermath of Dennis's confession in the early 2000s, a midnight drive through Atlanta's rain-slicked streets, where he tearfully explained his double life, preaching fire and brimstone against homosexuality by day, seeking solace in secret encounters by night, fueled by a childhood of shame in a strict Baptist household. He said it was a demon he couldn't cast out, Lydia whispers, her voice cracking, as archival clips show Dennis at the pulpit, his charisma masking torment. The camera cuts to Dennis Jr.'s coming out moment years later, a parallel wound. At 22, during a family Easter dinner, he hands Lydia a letter, his words echoing his father's, "Mom, I can't live the lie anymore, I'm gay, and so is Dad." Lydia's world fractures anew, the irony bitter as she realizes her son's inherited struggles, with Dennis Jr. confiding his own hidden relationships and the church youth group's toxic judgment that pushed him toward isolation. The episode weaves in interviews with Dennis, now an openly gay pastor leading an affirming congregation of over 1,000 LGBTQ members in Atlanta, his voice steady, "I deconstructed our life to reconstruct my truth, but I broke Lydia in the process." Lydia nods, sharing how she became the family's silent guardian, attending therapy alone while Dennis continued preaching, their marriage a facade for Nia's sake, their other sons grappling with confusion and resentment. Expert psychologists chime in, explaining the intergenerational trauma of repressed sexuality in religious families, where denial leads to depression rates 40% higher than average. Flashbacks show Lydia's internal war, forcing smiles at church events, shielding Dennis Jr. from conversion therapy whispers, and enduring whispers from the congregation about the pastor's perfect family. The dual secrets compound her isolation, as she confides in a close friend during a tearful park walk. How do I love a God who seems to hate my husband and son? Fan discourse on X intensifies, with its soulsearching tweeting, #UnlockedFamilySecrets has me ugly crying, Lydia's grace amid betrayal is everything. The segment builds to a pivotal confrontation, Lydia and Dennis in a mediated session, where he apologizes for the years stolen, and she confronts the hypocrisy, you preached love but lived fear. This middle act captures the episode's soul, the slow erosion of a faith built on secrets, with Lydia's journey from denial to quiet rebellion, leaving viewers haunted by the cost of silence in families bound by divine expectations. The weight of unspoken truths bears down in the third act of Unlocked Family Secrets, as Lydia Meredith confronts the ripple effects of her husband and son's dual revelations, turning her living room into a battlefield of forgiveness and fractured faith. Lydia, her composure cracking under the camera's gaze, recounts the church's unraveling, whispers turning to scandals in 2008, when Dennis's affairs leaked via anonymous emails, forcing their divorce amid megachurch fallout, congregants fleeing, donors withdrawing, and Lydia left to rebuild alone with 3 sons. I was the villain for staying silent, the saint for holding it together, she says, her voice laced with irony, as clips show paparazzi flashes outside their Atlanta home, Dennis Jr. shielding his face from reporters. The episode delves into Dennis Jr.'s parallel path. Coming out publicly at 25, he faces family estrangement, with his brothers initially rejecting him, echoing the church's doctrine of, love the sinner, hate the sin. Lydia describes her role as bridge builder, hosting tense family dinners where she mediated, her heart torn between her evangelical roots, raised in a household where homosexuality was demonic, and her son's humanity. Interviews with Dennis reveal his post-divorce evolution, founding an LGBTQ-affirming church, where he now marries same-sex couples, his regret palpable, I hurt Lydia to save myself, but our son gave me the courage to live free. Lydia, pursuing a theological education in her 50s, shares how studying Jesus's ministry of inclusion reconstructed her faith, leading to her memoir The Gay Preacher's Wife in 2015, a cathartic release that freed her from shame. The dual secrets toll emerges in therapy scenes, Lydia processing her codependency, Dennis Jr. unpacking his internalized homophobia, and a family reconciliation circle where tears flow as they affirm, we choose love over labels. Experts discuss the psychological impact, elevated suicide risks in LGBTQ youth from religious families, underscoring Lydia's advocacy through Beacon of Hope, her nonprofit lifting impoverished children. X-fans connect deeply, with at Grace in Truth tweeting, Lydia's reconstruction in #UnlockedFamilySecrets is a masterclass in forgiveness, faith isn't fragile, it's flexible. The segment peaks with Lydia's empowering mantra, secrets destroy, truth liberates, even when it hurts. This act resonates with the series' mission, unlocking family vaults to heal generational wounds, leaving viewers inspired by Lydia's transformation from silent sentinel to vocal healer. As the preacher's secret draws to its hopeful close, Lydia Meredith's living room fills with the soft light of dawn, symbolizing rebirth in Unlocked Family Secrets, where her 25-year vigil over her husband and son's hidden truths culminates in a tapestry of forgiveness and reclaimed faith. Lydia, her eyes brighter, reflects on the divorce's silver lining, co-parenting as allies, with Dennis supporting their sons' journeys, Dennis Jr. now thriving as an openly gay advocate, the younger boys embracing their brother's authenticity. We rebuilt not despite the secrets, but because we faced them, she says, as clips show current family gatherings, holiday dinners with Dennis's new husband, Lydia's nonprofit events where she mentors queer youth, blending her evangelical past with inclusive present. The episode weaves in Dennis's redemption arc, from closeted pastor to trailblazing leader of an affirming congregation, his apology to Lydia a tearful vow, you held our family when I couldn't. Lydia's reconstruction shines through her master's in theology, where she reframed scripture as a call to love without condition, inspiring her book in TEDx talks on faith's evolution. The dual revelations, legacy emerges in a family panel. Dennis Jr. thanks his mother for her grace, saying, you chose humanity over dogma, while Lydia affirms, God doesn't make mistakes, my family is proof. Experts close with hope. Studies show affirming families reduce mental health risks by 50%, a statistic Lydia embodies through Beacon of Hope's work lifting families from poverty. X-fans celebrate the premiere's impact, with at Hellinghartsound tweeting, Lydia's story in #UnlockedFamilySecrets is a beacon, secrets end, but love endures. The series teases future episodes on addiction and infidelity, but this finale anchors in Lydia's mantra, "Tell your secrets before they tell on you." Owns production, gentle fades, soulful gospel undertones, amplifies the uplift, leaving viewers transformed. This episode isn't just a reveal, it's a reclamation, proving that in the ashes of hidden truths, faith and family can rise stronger, with Lydia's journey a testament to unlocking the heart's deepest chambers for light to flood in.